war in heaven. And we have an extraordinary picture given to us of a pregnant woman only clothed with the sun and about to be attacked by a dragon. There's some kind of representation of the picture done by an artist in the East End of London when he was reading this book. Now, this is probably the most difficult chapter of Revelation to interpret. It's curling up with the heat. Do you mind if I just pull it off? Who is this pregnant woman? And who does she represent? Now, let's try and feel our way into this, because it is a very difficult piece of symbolism, and you'll find Bible scholars, it really is the most controversial little bit of the whole of the book as to what it means. Now, the dragon is no problem. Who knows who the dragon is? Well, it tells us, it says the dragon is that old serpent, the devil. So we know who the dragon is. The question is, oh, by the way, it says that the dragon drags down with him a third of the stars of heaven. That's an amazing piece of information. It tells you that there altogether 1 out of every 3 angels has gone with the devil. The devil is an angel. And he has persuaded 1/3 of the heavenly host of angels to become demons with him. A demon is nothing else than an angel following Satan, and Satan himself is an angel. In other words, there are good angels and bad angels, and the good ones outnumber the bad ones 2 to 1. So here we have this dragon, this devil, at the head of an army of 1/3 of the angels, now called demons. And he is going for this pregnant woman dressed in the sun. And he is waiting for her to deliver her child so that he can kill the boy child. Now, of course, as soon as you read that, who do you think of? Pardon? Mary. I'm afraid that's the first person many people think of, and it is the official Roman Catholic interpretation of this chapter. And you can understand that because of their veneration of the Virgin Mary, they see Mary in many places. Yes? Yes, well, there are 3 possibilities. The first possibility is that it's Mary, and the boy child is Jesus, and the devil is seeking to destroy the boy child as he did through Herod at Jesus' birth. But what's all that doing in the book of Revelation and in the middle of a description of the big trouble? It really doesn't fit at all. The second possibility is just mentioned, that the mother is Israel, the Jews. But who is the boy child then? Again, those who take that line say the boy child is Jesus. I want to put a third possibility to you, which puts it back into its setting. What's it doing here in the book of Revelation, in the middle of the description, or not at the middle, towards the end of the big trouble? Well, bear in mind first that all women in the book of Revelation are not individuals. Every woman in the book of Revelation represents a large number of people. We shall see the scarlet woman representing Babylon. We shall see the bride, the New Jerusalem, representing God's people. This woman is a representative woman, what we call a corporate symbol. Now, it says that though her man-child is killed, the rest of her children flee to the wilderness and are saved. So the man-child, is that an individual, or is it a group of people? Is it a picture of the martyrs? We notice that in the book of Revelation, it says Christ will rule the world with a rod of iron, and it also says Christians will do the same. In other words, we are seeing in these chapters that what happened to Christ will happen to Christians at the end of history. Then comes the real clue, because in connection with this woman, it says that she flees to the wilderness for 1,260 days. That is the period of the big trouble. So we're not talking about Jesus' birth at all. We're talking about the big trouble. And I therefore understand the woman to represent the church, and the man-child whom Satan is wanting to kill as the martyrs, and the rest of her offspring as those who managed to survive the big trouble, but by fleeing to the wilderness. Now that, I believe, is the picture here. And that picture fits perfectly with where it comes in the book of Revelation. Well, now those are the three major interpretations. There are others, but I'll leave you to take your pick. There's the first, that the woman is an individual, and it is Mary, and the devil is seeking to kill her man-child, Jesus. But all that's back in the Gospels. Second, that it's the nation of Israel. But who is the boy child? Jesus. But what's the point of bringing in at this point the devil trying to kill Jesus at birth? It just doesn't make sense. But if this woman represents the Church of Christ, and her offspring are going to be treated as Mary's offspring was, and there will be those who seek to kill her offspring, but some of her offspring will escape by getting out into the country areas for 1,260 days and hang in there, somehow survive. You see, there will be some people still alive on earth when Jesus gets back. Not all Christians will be martyred. Well, now, I just leave that with you. What it does say is that there is war in heaven. Let's go back to Coventry Cathedral. If you go to Coventry Cathedral, outside the cathedral, against the baptistry window here, here's a picture of a sculpture, a remarkable sculpture on the wall of the cathedral. Have any of you seen it? Right. It's a picture of the Archangel Michael, not Michael, Michael, defeating the devil. And it's there on Coventry Cathedral. That's taken straight out of chapter 12. And what it says is this: Satan, right now, is in the heavenly places. He's not in hell. Nobody's in hell yet. Hell is being prepared for people, but nobody's in hell yet. Not even the devil's in hell. Demons are in heavenly places. That's why we don't wrestle with flesh and blood, but with principalities and powers in the heavenly places. See, devil is an angel, and the demons are in heavenly places. But there will come a day when an archangel kicks the devil out of heaven for the last time. If you read Job chapter 1, you find the devil attending the council of heaven and arguing with God. But there will come a day, says chapter 12, at the very end of history, when the devil will be thrown out of heaven, and the third of the stars with him, all his demons. And they will be right out of heaven. But it says they will be so angry that their anger will be directed against earth. And that is why things get so terribly bad right at the end. Because the devil is finished, he's out of heaven, he has a last opportunity to mess the earth up. And it is that frustration that leads directly into what he will do on earth when he's finally kicked out of heaven for good. And chapter 13 tells us what he will do. And the answer is, he will raise up 2 beasts. In chapter 13, verses 1 to 10 talk about the first beast, and verses 11 to 18, the second beast. Both are human beings, and together they form the last totalitarian regime earth has seen. The first beast is political, the second is religious. They are elsewhere known as the Antichrist and the false prophet. And together with the devil, they form an unholy trinity. Instead of Father, Son, Father Christ, and Holy Spirit, we have devil, Antichrist, and false prophet. It's a hellish substitute for the Holy Trinity. And together, these 2 puppets of Satan will control the earth for a very brief period. Let's look at the 2 beasts of chapter 13. The first one is political, a world dictator who is given authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation. He is also allowed to fight and conquer the saints. He is also called the lawless one in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Now, just to clear up one thing, anti doesn't mean